Morning, folks. Welcome to the farm on this freezing cold Tuesday morning. It's really chilly. And something I wanted to ask today. I want to ask some questions. I need some advice because this is a topic that brings out the foolishness in me and the idiot. What an idiot I am. But my whole life I've sort of refrained from asking these questions because it makes me look really stupid, and I just got to a stage in my life where I don't care anymore. So that's why I'm doing these videos. And I'd like to ask Dr. Alex Parkinson if you would maybe put this down as one of the subjects as a podcast, because I need questions answered here, and I need some professionals, proper scientists, to answer these questions. And the question is the moon landing. So I have trouble believing that the moon landing happened, and there's a couple of reasons why, and it bugs me a bit. There's things that I'm really concerned about because of the media in the last few years with COVID and whatnot, all coming in and showing their true colors and how much bull dust they peddle us. I don't trust the media anymore, and even worse back then. So basically, the questions that I've got is, the first moon landing was 1969, right? The last one was 1972. So that's like 51 years ago since we've been to the moon. We currently, in the last 50 years, have been sending no spacecrafts go more than 400 kilometers off the surface of the Earth. So 400 kilometers off the surface of the Earth in 50 years, but 52 years before, we were traveling 350 odd thousand kilometers to the moon. It's a round trip of 700 odd thousand kilometers. So that's quite a long distance, and a big difference between 400 Ks and 700,000 kilometers. The other thing is, and I'm not talking about the little things that concern me about it. I'm not talking about the photographic glitches that they found, and the flag, and the difference between the sole imprint on the suits compared to the impression that on the photographs that was left on the, totally different impressions. There's probably, good examples for those, because they're blatant mistakes or blatant errors. So there must be good reasoning for that. I'm talking about the more sort of underlying things that people don't really think about too much. And this is something that worries me is so that's a huge amount of kilometers to start off with, right? The satellites that we currently have running in orbit, they run between what they call the Van Allen belts, and these Van Allen belts have got serious radiation that destroy these satellites. So GPS satellites, all communication satellites, they have to run between the belts, because if they go into the belts, the radiation corrodes them up and stuffs them up completely. So there's serious radiation there. Now, we had astronauts go through those belts. Those belts range between 640 kilometers thick and 56,000 kilometers wide. That's how wide the Van Allen belts are. There's two of them currently in place, and they found in 2013 a third one. So there's all this radiation out there that affects people. The amount of fuel that you have to burn to go to the moon, they burnt over 2 million liters of fuel. 2 million liters, okay? You got to put strap yourself to 2 million liters of fuel, shoot out to the sky. You got to leave enough fuel that's got to come all the way back again. And then luckily the re-entry back then was just a drop out of the sky. It wasn't a re-entry like we have it now, where you have to have more fuel. The other thing is liquid oxygen, because you've got to be able to breathe out there. They had 1.5 million liters of liquid oxygen. This is all extra weights and stuff that's put on there. And you got to have space to carry all this stuff. The trip that they say took 4.5 days to get to the moon. So that's a round trip of 9 days, right? And so okay, cool, all good. But now they're looking at colonizing Mars, which takes 3 years to get there. So doesn't it make sense to rather colonize the moon first, test run it there? I know the climate's different, but I mean the environment's pretty much the same. And you could, if you have a problem on the moon, at least within a week or two, you could be back on Earth. But if you have a problem on Mars, you're toast. So it makes no sense to me why you want to do that, not go back to the moon. So yeah, there's a whole lot of things that are really, and I thought maybe the scientists could enlighten me in my layman mind, because these things don't make sense at all. And yeah, anyway, I'm waffling on, and you get the idea. And there's a whole lot more questions I want to ask, but it'll make this video way too long. So anyway, those are the basics that sort of confuse me and worry me. And yeah, if they can explain how we can get through those belts without the radiation affecting us, number one. And number two, the other thing is you have to go through it at high speed. So you've got to burn those thrusters right through. The other point was the closest point to get through is at the North Pole for the Americans, of course, when they took off. So you'd have to fly with those thrusters all the way through till you get out to the the outer core. Then you have to fly across underneath the Van Allen belt and then shoot through at the North Pole, which would just burn a huge amount of fuel. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, if there's scientists out there that can explain that to me, I'd really enjoy that. Thanks, guys. And I'm sorry if because I've been sworn at before by scientists, or so-called scientists. So yeah, I just want those questions answered, if that's all right. If there's somebody out there that knows the answers, if you don't, well, maybe it's time you get a bit skeptical about what the media's pumping through, because it sounds like nonsense to me. Cheers, guys. Enjoy the day.